Hey guys, what's going on? Casino is open again. Let's look at the portfolio right now. Let's go. Gotta put the portfolio here. Same drill as always. And yeah, we had a good day Friday and we're back down. This roller coaster never stops. My new play is, for anyone that didn't know, is MicroStrategy. I was up instantly on it, which never happens. And I joked on Twitter that, well, I'm used to being instantly down 30%. Well, I got my wish. MicroStrategy. I am down I was down like 10 grand earlier this morning. And now this MicroStrategy big brain play, I put 69 grand total NLV into this position alone. It's a sign. I didn't plan it that way. It just worked out that way. And basically, I went long a bunch of 2-year leaps. They expire in June of 2027. And MicroStrategy and Bitcoin is degenerate enough. But in my mind, euphoria and irrational exuberance is on the horizon. So why not go even harder and use leverage? And hey, get rich or die trying, right? So these were around like anywhere from 6 grand to 7 grand a piece. And yeah, this is equivalent of almost 1,000 shares basically. More accurately, my delta is 750, but as they get in the money, meaning if MicroStrategy does go up, which I think it will, my delta will be close to like 1,000 or 1,100. Why did I choose MicroStrategy? My mantra is buy low, sell high, right? It's one big club and we ain't in it. And I was telling people in my Discord and trade chat that Michael Saylor is part of the club. Ever since Trump got elected, he's been in Mar-a-Lago. You know, it's the HQ in Florida of the big money and everyone's scheming to get rich. And yeah, he's rubbing shoulders on the red carpet with all these bigwigs. Michael Saylor. He's the poster boy of Bitcoin and crypto. MicroStrategy announced they're raising their cash reserve for dividend payments, and the bearishness, the bare foot is that if you're so bullish on Bitcoin, why are you raising cash? There's worthless fiat instead of Bitcoin. And that's a good argument. And you got everyone out of the woodwork, like a Peter Schiff. If you guys know who Peter Schiff is, he hates crypto with a passion. And I can't pull it up right now. Oh, Michael Saylor. This guy, I haven't followed him on X until recently, but all he is memes and buy Bitcoin and hodl and all sorts of that nature. And he has a lot of critics and pundits saying has the biggest Ponzi the market has ever seen, and it's the poster boy of the bubble. And when the Great Reset happens, it'll go straight to zero. That may well all be true, but not before we have our blow off top and irrational exuberance, and that's why I've chosen MicroStrategy. If Bitcoin was to go to 150K, which I think it will, and Ethereum to 10K, let's say you're long crypto. If you put 100K in crypto right now, what's that gonna get you? Like a 50K upside, which is pretty good, 50% upside. I'll take that any day. But again, I'm trying to get rich here. So if I buy MicroStrategy, which if you look at the chart and you look at the weekly chart, which is the most, like all these squiggly lines and TA and like astrology, if you look at it on too short a time frame, nothing matters. But to me, what matters is the weekly chart. What's always in hindsight proven to be pretty accurate is the 3-year weekly RSI. And if you look at it, just layman's, simpleman's terms, when we're below this bottom line with the RSI, we could go down further, but that's a good time to have an entry point and starter position every time. It doesn't matter if it's a degenerate stock or not. All stocks in general. Like for instance, when Meta went to 88, it was the same thing. When Tesla was 110, same thing. I expect MicroStrategy to capitulate a lot of people. I'm anticipating, like if we look at Bitcoin, I'm anticipating a flash crash of Bitcoin to 75K. Right now we're at 85, so we're not too far off, and that's significant because average purchase price for Michael Saylor's Bitcoin is around 75K. So we go below what they call MNAV. MNAV is just a fancy way to say like it's fair value compared to their investments or whatever. So if we drop to 75K, the FinTwits and the Peter Schiffs of the world all pile on and flood the shit out of MicroStrategy, we'll get a quick flush. Right now we're at 159. I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to 130, 120, even 100. And if we do, I'll sell a bunch of cash secured puts and I'll double up on my call option leaps. Why? Because I'm a degenerate, that's why. So I had a dual purpose for this certain video. I want to reveal my new position with MicroStrategy moving forward. And also, I wanted to do a little segment for a promotion video with YouTube. And it didn't occur to me until just recently, like YouTube, like anything else, is pay to win. Like Fortnite. If you pay money, YouTube will push you further. The problem is, all of my content is flagged as, garbage nonsense by YouTube. And I tried posting a bunch of videos to do a campaign ad, but it got flagged and disapproved for trying to promote an election, which I don't. I just criticize any administration. And trying to sell something, which I don't try to sell you guys shit like a course or anything. And I don't try to misrepresent myself. At least I don't think I do. And then shocking, shocking content, which is me cursing like F-bombs or talking about the ultra wealthy and global elites. So all of my content is just flagged and shadow banned to oblivion, which I already suspected as much, but there is a certain niche audience, which is you guys, which I'm always going to be true to myself. I'm always going to be genuine content, whether it's tinfoil hat conspiracy theory or not. But the YouTube algos don't like it. And that's why my reach is very small. And why do I do this in the first place? It's for you guys. It's just to give you my genuine thoughts and my weird outlooks on stuff. Because in my mind, I see the Matrix for what it is. And I'm not gonna change my rhetoric or change my ideology just to satisfy what YouTube thinks and what the rest of the NPCs in this world want me to say. Those are like a dime a dozen. You can go on any YouTube channel or FinTwit X account and find some schmuck that just tells you what you want to hear and has the same bullshit ad nauseum opinion like anyone else. I'm just trying to do a little something different. Not for the sake of being different, but this is my genuine thoughts. With all that said, bear with me while I try to do a Muhammad Ali okie doke for people. Because I do want to reach a wider audience, but I'm going to do it in a way where maybe YouTube and Google won't automatically ban my ads. And I'm going to do a little segment where it's a little inside joke between me and my current viewers. I'm going to just do this little promo section ad where I'm going to try to make it not have all those flags and shadow banned content and buzzwords that YouTube and Google doesn't like. But I'm going to try to make it just interesting enough to draw people in. And then when they watch my video, to be like, huh, this is interesting. This isn't what I expected at all, but I kind of like it. You guys get what I'm trying to do? All right, so here we go. Bear with me while I do a nice promotion ad for YouTube. So we get more people in I think we got a nice thing going with our little community. I want more people to be here. All right, I'm going to just speak from the heart. But keep in mind what the things that I'm not allowed to say. All right, hey guys, Tech1V here. I'm just a dude in my car commuting to my job that I hate. And I talk about all sorts of things. And I rant about the stock market and anything news around the world and any issues going on and how it pertains to your money, your finances, your investments. And one thing I like to separate myself from other FinTwits, like, if you will, is that I have genuine, real trades. Right now, if I pull up my stock portfolio, what you see is what you get. I'm not trying to sell anything. All thoughts and opinions are my own. Nothing I do is financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes, but I like to do real trades with my actual portfolio so that it just has a little more transparency and being genuine. So come join me on my journey of either getting rich and quitting this wage slave job or losing everything. Hopefully I don't lose everything. But yes, this is my portfolio, this is my balance. My total net liquidating value, or total value of my portfolio if I close everything out, is over $1 million. It's a lot of money or not a lot, depending on how you look at it. Okay. So old viewers, just bear with me while I explain a little bit about myself and my current positions. I'll just go in value my biggest positions. For a long time, I was an all-in Tesla investor. I've scaled that down, but I'm very large in Tesla. I have over $500,000 in Tesla. I have TLT, which is a 20-year bond. Bonds are a defensive safe haven, and it's always good. I look at it the same as like a cash position with a little more upside, but also at the same time, they do go down every now and then. I have Unity stock, which I believe is the next GameStop 2.0. Roaring Kitty will reveal his position. I'm up 52K for that for the year. My total value is around 75K for that. MicroStrategy, as I mentioned, that's my newest big brain play. I have around 65K in that. I have Bitmine Immersion, which is BMNR. Quite down on that, and I have 52K, and I'm down 15K in the current position. Intel, I have currently 35K in Intel, and I think that's going to be a big story moving forward, just with the importance of chip manufacturing. I'm up on that as well. Coin and ConL are the same thing. ConL is just a leverage version of Coinbase, and the rest are negligible. But that's where I'm at right now. My strategy for any new viewers is a combination of buy and hold and option selling. So if you're interested in the world of option selling, I try to explain it in a way that anyone who hasn't done it can understand. Because if you look at it on like a Wikipedia or Investopedia, your journey is over before it began. The way they define things, I had a brain fart when I first started. I've been option selling for around close to 4 years now, and I've been obsessed about the stock market in general for the past 5 years or so. I am grateful for what I have, whether it's a combination of luck, knowledge, or actually maybe knowing what I'm doing, maybe a combination of both. Here I am. The story's not over yet. Who knows what happens from here, but come join me on my journey. And remember, not financial advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results. I've outperformed the market consistently for the past few years, but that could all change. Who knows? So just remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, and just with the added value of being real trades and not paper trading. I think that speaks volumes there. And for a demonstration of option selling, maybe this will pique your curiosity. The VIX is kind of low. I don't really like selling it at these points, but basically buy low, sell high, guys. And if you're option selling, the reverse is true. If stuff is down, now's a good time to sell cash secured puts. Have you guys heard of that term before? This is just a demonstration. Don't do this at home, folks. I like to do 45 days for selling puts. Right now, Coinbase is down a lot, so I'm gonna sell. And the purpose of this is that you hope it goes back up, and then you get the premium up front, and yeah. So quick demonstration, I'm gonna sell a 150 strike, January 26th. The bid and spread for this sucks, so sometimes it doesn't fill. So I sold that for 70, and I just got destroyed on the bid. So that's 70, and they give you the contract premium up front. That's what's nice about option selling. And in return, they take collateral and buying power. Sell another one. Sold another one. So that's $145 so far. The point, if you look at that decimal point, just do everything is in the denominations of 100. Sell one more. And for me, buying power only takes $220. I'll get into that later. And to make it interesting, just to show the power of option selling, I'll sell another one. All right, that filled. So in that short demonstration, even though I didn't elaborate what I'm doing, because I've made several option selling videos if you go through my channel, and I do this every day. We'll explain further in the future for any new viewers that are curious. But if you look at that right here, these were filled trades. That's $75, 75, 150 plus 07. So around $250 plus for just 30 seconds of clicking. And there's a lot that goes into it, but I hope that, piques your curiosity. Option selling is a very powerful tool. I highly recommend people look into it. It's a good supplement to your buy and hold portfolio. It can give you more knowledge of how the market works and these drastic moves that we have. And it's just, hey, knowledge is power, right? this is a typical session of what I'll do. And Coinbase, we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's my strategy. It's just buy and hold stuff that I like and sell options on top of it. The premium I get from option selling, I use it to buy the dip on stuff that I like. And Con-L, it's down a lot today, 11%. So again, buy low, sell high, guys. Let me buy 10 shares of this. This is a real trade as well. That's $195. So, and that filled as well. But a little bit about myself, since this is a promo video, and I usually don't talk about myself because I've been told many times, no one cares about you, just get to the money. I want to know how to make money and get rich. But for this, the purpose of this video, I'm just a normal dude. I have a blue-collar 9-to-5 job that I don't like very much. People who've watched past videos know how much I don't like my job. And I am commuting right now to said job. And typically, my option selling and investments make way more money than my wage slave salary. The reason I got into stocks and investing is for what most people do. I wanted to provide for my family, and I have a 6-year-old son. And I have a lot of financial responsibilities. Being Asian parents in general don't save for retirement. That's not a knock on them, that's just how it is, because they go all in into their kids and invest everything into their kids. And it's a team effort. I would not be where I am without my parents and my wife's parents. And I'm happy to support them in their old age. They deserve it, for sure. So I have to support my in-laws and my parents and ensure the family's well-being. And that's why I've been obsessed with money. And I'm just a degenerate at heart. I used to have a horrible gambling problem. So the casino's open all the time with the stock market. And my job, I've been at my job for close to 20 years now. I was in the military infantry, Army infantry 3 years before that. So I've been working quite a long time. It's starting to wear on me. It's basically 23 years of being treated like a piece of trash, being treated like an idiot, not being treated quite like an adult. And yeah, I'm 43 years old now. I can retire 5.5 years. I'll be around 48. 48 is young to retire, but I've been working a long time, like straight. I'm a little burnt out. I was super motivated to get rich and to quit my job, even though I'd be leaving a pension on the table. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? To quit now when I put so much time in, when I can collect a pension and health benefits if I work 5 more years. But in my mind, you can't buy time. Time is precious. 5.5 years is like an eternity, especially when it pertains to my son. That's like double the time on earth he's been almost. So I was super motivated to get rich. But that kind of changed a little while ago when I realized something. And I won't go into too much detail, but if I do work the next 5 years, I can secure survivorship benefits, which specific to me is a little more, I can provide for my family and my son long after my death. I'll just leave it at that. And when I realized that it's too much to just give it up to have this pipe dream of me retiring early and sitting on my ass and just doing whatever I want, off every day. That's irresponsible. Yes, YOLO, you only live once, but having a family and kids changes things. So when I realized that a week or two ago, I got a little deflated because I was really excited to possibly maybe take a leave of absence, maybe quit my job, because we ran the numbers and it could have worked. I could have quit my job and maybe pursue hobbies and interests and side ventures that I've been working on, because having a full-time job really puts a damper on that. I can still do it, but I'm not wired that way to just get 4 hours of sleep and work on all these different things. Work a side job before I go to my real job. I know some people can do that, but I can't. So I decided that I am not quitting my job, no matter how much money I accumulate in this portfolio. Like, it's just the safety net is too much to sacrifice. And nothing is guaranteed in this life. Even if I hit like 3 million, 4 million, 5 million in my portfolio with what I think is going to happen in the future, and I do believe there's a recession on the way, and knock on wood, my wife loses her job. Who knows? She's in the private sector. I would feel horrible, terrible if I quit my job to pursue a pipe dream and then my family's livelihood at stake. I'm not gonna let myself do that. I commend anyone that just goes for it and YOLOs and pursues their dreams and their passion and actually makes it. That's amazing. But that's try to be a buzzkill, but that's a very small percentage of the working population. That's why it's called work, right? It's not meant to be something you enjoy. And most people don't like their jobs. I'm not alone in that, I'll tell you that much. And yeah, so that's just a current update on me and my life. But I don't want to be a total Debbie Downer. That doesn't mean I'm gonna give up. There is a certain number where it literally makes no sense to keep working a job where I make drastically less than I'm making with maybe options selling in the market. So I'm gonna keep trying. And the thing that keeps me going, sorry to sound cheesy, is to root for you guys, root for the little guy, because we're all in the same boat together. You know, it's one big club and we ain't in it. As much as I maybe talk smack to other FinTwits and people with their portfolio screenshots and this and that, any one normal person that gets rich, that's a win in my book. Because they're definitely not making it easier. They keep moving the goalposts. Everything is getting more expensive. Inflation takes no prisoners. I recently watched, I'm a big fan of this guy, this channel called Crispy Pizza. There's a bunch of Jersey and New York, like Italian guys, and their son just records their day-to-day. One of the owners just says it like how it is. It makes me realize that, yeah, it's everyone that's suffering. And he basically said, without our help to our kids, that the things that were achievable as an American, the American dream back in the day, buying a house, getting married, raising kids, having 1 or 2 nice vacations a year, 1 or 2 cars in the garage, those things are basically unachievable for some parts of millennials and the Generation Z and going forward. It's just way too hard, unless you have a huge leg up. So my point of saying that is, you gotta take risk. There's no reward without a risk. And investing, the stock market is a way to get a little ahead. But if you're a total newbie at investing, it's scary. It's scary when the numbers are red. Why is it going down? The stock market is one of the few places where people are running for the exits when stuff is on sale and stuff on discount. It's weird. If you had a car on sale that you really wanted, or your favorite sneakers that you've been wanting that were on massive discount, you'd buy that shit in a heartbeat. But with stocks, your favorite company, when it's down 30%, you lose conviction, you get scared, and people get emotional and panic still. So what keeps me going is you guys. I really like it when I get comments on my channel. Give me your thoughts, your opinions. Since I have been obsessed about the market for so long, experience matters, guys. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes. I don't know it all, but I have a slightly better idea than someone who is just starting out in the market. I made a video a long time ago when I was in Panama before, but I had one good thing that I said that I repeat here. I was watching Rocky 1 at the time, and there's this line that Sylvester Stallone says to Adrian. Adrian asks Rocky, "Why do you fight?" And Rocky replies, "It's because I can't sing or dance." And I'm kind of the same way. When it comes to investing in stocks in the market, I'm not the smartest guy or the funniest guy. I don't have nearly as good technical analysis skills like some of these other dudes. But what I can offer you guys, if you guys subscribe to my channel and watch my videos, is I'm just genuine. I don't try to sell you anything. I'll show you all my wins and all my losses, which I am down a lot today. And I'm just a guy trying to figure out some sort of truth, because there's so many distractions and noise with social media, and we don't know what's what anymore. And my eyes have been opened just maybe a little bit more than what I was a few years ago. You guys learn a little bit through my trades and through my insights and my thought process when I do these things, because I always try to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's all I can offer to you guys, because I can't sing or dance. So yeah, guys, did you guys like that little promotion? I think it was good enough to pass the algos, and I don't think I cursed at all, right? Guys, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Bye.